Hey, this is Matt with mtwTV. We're here at Twisted Spoke, Lawrenceburg, West Virginia again. We're going to do an install on this tri-glide here. We'll use Primo Rivera's Pro Clutch setup add to it. This all came about, the owner of this bike and one of his buddies with a new electric glide took a cross-country trip with their wives, dragging trailers. Partway through the trip, both of them started experiencing some clutch slippage. Nothing major. They let them cool down. They were able to get them finish the trip, have a good time and everything. We got back, pulled the clutch out of the other bike. It was, as I said, newer electric glide. Clutches were completely smoked, burned up in it. We stepped up to the Primo Rivera clutch. Made a big improvement in the bike. So I'm going to run you through that. If we get the old one pulled out, I'll show you the difference in the clutch packs. This is how this comes from Rivera. You'll have to disassemble it, press it into the original basket, and swap it out. So I've loosened the clutch cable up, pulled the floorboards off, drained the oil out of it. So we'll just move on from there. Okay, next thing you're going to want to do is, I've already got the boards off, fluid out of it. You're going to want to pull your primary cover off. Be sure you use some sort of system. Remember where these bolts came from. Depending on the models you use, you may run into subtle differences in the length. Some people will draw a diagram of the cover on a piece of cardboard, punch holes in it, put the bolts in there. Normally, if it's a bike I know I'm going to get right back together, I always start at the same bolt, work my way counterclockwise, and just lay them out as I do them like that. So let's get this pulled off. Okay, off the cover loose. As you can see, even if you drain the oil, you're still going to lose some. That's why I always use newspaper before I pull the cover off of it. Okay, on the newer models, have the automatic clutch tensioner. You'll have to pull the pressure off of it. They actually make a tool for this, but what I found works just fine is loop some zip ties through it, release the tension on it, pull it down with the zip ties, and that'll get the tension off of it and get it out of the way for you. Okay, with the zip ties pulled through and pulled tight on it, holding the tension off, I can go ahead and remove the tensioner. And there you have a captured chain tensioner. The thing you're going to do now, you're going to pop this snap ring out of here so you can get access to the nut that holds the clutch up in. So take your snap ring pliers, work it out of there. That takes that out, and then the adjuster will come out. Don't lose the clutch push rod, shove it back in there, get it out of the way. That takes care of that. The next thing you're going to want to do, you're going to need to remove this nut, this bolt that holds the compensator on the front, and you're going to need an impact wrench for that. Okay, thing to remember when you're removing the primary drive, this front one is going to be a standard thread. The rear one, however, is a left-handed thread. It's going to come out backwards. So go ahead and remove the rear first. There's the bolt to hold the compensator on. Now you're just going to work the whole thing off as a unit. Make sure you have a hold of it. And you've removed the clutch. Okay, I've got setting out here. This is the complete clutch hub setup out of the bike, the original setup. This is the Rivera hub setup that we're going to press into this. So you'll have to take this apart, loosen the tension on your bolts. I already popped them loose. Work your way around. This will take the tension off of the clutch spring. Once you get all the tension off, you can pull them off by hand. Take the spring. This may stick together. Pull the pressure plate out, and you're into your clutch discs. Now it's going to take a minute here, and I'll show you the difference in what we're upgrading to. Okay. By making the size of the clutch hub smaller, they've been able to increase the size of the clutch plate itself. They've doubled the size of the friction area that you're making contact with on your clutch plate. So that's where you're getting your increase from. As you can see, let me get this plate out of here. This steel plate is completely burnt. So what you're going to want to do now, get all the plates and this out of the original one, because you're going to need to press that out of there. Just turn it upside down, pop them out. While you're upside down, while you have it upside down, you're going to find a snap ring in here. It's this inner snap ring right here on the clutch. You're going to need to take that out. That out, you're going to have to take it back into, you're going to have a press, take it back in the back, press that clutch hub out of it. Okay, so I've got everything set up in the press here, got my clutch basket supported, pushing on the center on the hub, pushing the old hub out of it. So, working my way down. The way my press is set up, I'm going to have to do a little bit at a time. Oh, that can't. Remove everything from the press. This is the old. This you're going to reuse. We'll take this back now, give it a good cleaning in the parts washer, get all the old oil out of it and everything, and we'll press the new one in. Okay, we're set up here now. We're going to press the new hub into the basket. When you're pressing this in, it's going in through here, so you want to support in as close as you can to that hole. If you're supporting way out here and all your force is going here, there's a chance of cracking something. I'm using a big socket, fits up in there. Just going to set it on it. Set my new hub in. Center it up. Use a little spacer here for it. working its way in. Okay, feels like it's in seated. I'll let it up. Make sure we get a good free spin with it. Flip it over. The groove for my collar or my snap ring. It's through, and we'll give it just a little bit more. It looks like it's not quite all the way through. Grab another piece of stock here to space with. I think I got a little bit more out of it. Still moves freely. Pick it up. Yeah, I'm good for my snap ring now. So we'll move on back over to the bench. So we've got everything together. We'll turn our attention back over to the primary case itself. We're going to give this a thorough cleaning, parts cleaner, blow it out with compressed air. The reason we're doing this is we're getting away from conventional primary fluid with this setup, and we're going to be using Dexron automatic transmission fluid. People have had a question why we do that or why the setup asks for that. It's just a difference in the material that they're using for the clutch plates, and if you're familiar with automotive transmissions in any way, you know the clutch pack in a automatic transmission pretty much similar to the clutch pack setup on your Harley Davidson with the plates and the discs. So that's something you might want to make note of when you do this, is for your next service that you're going to have to switch it to make sure that you use the Dexron mark on it. We'll give it a good cleaning, dry it out, blow it out with compressed air, and then you can reinstall everything. Got everything cleaned out. I've cleaned the primary chain and the compensating sprocket. Got old oil off of them. Now we're going to put it back together. Okay, everything's in. Find a little Loctite. Don't forget this was a reverse thread. Got these on with some Loctite, torque them down to the factory specs. Now that you got that in, you can put your tensioner back together. A little Loctite on those two bolts. Work it back under.
Paralyzed Veterans of America is an independent organization dedicated to ensuring our injured veterans get all the benefits they've earned and need. Paralyzed Veterans Senior National Service Officer Anthony Steele.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to serve our veterans.
If you would like to help our veterans, visit PDA.org, a public service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Get your happening on the radio right now. Go to rock1057.com and click on the Contact Us tab.
Tighten up the bolts in the compensator or your tensioner. There's a guy out of there. There's that. Okay, after giving the clutch disc a quick bath in automatic transmission fluid, we'll start the installation. First is a steel plate. The first one is a thick one. All the other steel plates are the same thickness after that. So, install the steel plate, clutch disc, wipe off the excess transmission fluid. Another steel plate.
Unfortunately, little Jack Horner had to have his stomach pumped when he ate a
Disc, steel plate, and keep going through these until you get them all.
affordable renter's insurance and
64. I'm Kevin Snyder for Rock 105.
What's up,
Finish up with the
Saturday,
last
you know,
plate.
Beautiful Tuesday, kind of, maybe. I think it's nice outside, and that's really all that
Steel
matters,
disc.
right? I think it's nice. I'm sitting inside in a dark room, but I'm sure it's beautiful outside.
Add the pressure
and I
plate.
hope you guys are pumped, because I've got
And
some
sprung.
veins and should that.
You'll need to take the adjuster screw out of your old setup, reuse it in this one.
This is Addicted to Pain, only on Rock 105.7.
Slide it in. Clip spring at the top of it. Everything in, want to adjust your bolts, working in a crisscross pattern. These are set lengths, so when they bottom out, the adjustment's correct on them. They actually include some washers, so as the disc wear, if the clutch comes out of adjustment, you can add some washers to adjust to compensate for the wear. Everything's seated. Then the lock tabs over and adjust your clutch. Okay, with everything bolted down, locked in, adjust your clutch as normal. Set your lock nut. Okay, so we have the install. Go ahead and button it back up, new gaskets, put your floorboards and everything back on, add the automatic transmission fluid, adjust your cable slack like normal, and ride it. You're ready to go. Thank you for watching.